Coach, heading back on the road, facing a team in St. Cloud State that's been really rolling, but a team you played a arguably your best weekend of a hockey against a couple months ago. I guess what's the preparation mindset to get ready for going to their barn this time around?
Well, I think first and foremost, getting back to getting on the ice and being together and working through some of our some of our systems and just some touches on the puck today. Other than that, we know how good St. Cloud is, and we know what kind of threats they have and how hard they play and how structured they play. So for us, it's just a matter of being ready to go for Friday.
I asked River this too, but is it kind of nice to see North Dakota go in and beat St. Cloud with the giving you guys mentality like, hey, we can go in there, we can do this too?
I think for us, it's about controlling what we can control, and I don't think we ever look at who's beaten who or anything like that. We'll prepare well for St. Cloud, and then we got to perform on Friday.
You said on Saturday you want the team to be more deliberate, especially against St. Cloud's special teams. What do you want to see more deliberate from your special teams specifically?
Well, I think when I said that on Saturday, I was referring to practice being a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more, fine-tuning our systems and understanding what we want from a battle level, from a compete level. It's not necessarily. I wasn't necessarily talking about St. Cloud at the time. I was more talking about what we need to do and what we need to get better at.
Facing another fast team in St. Cloud this weekend that can really get up and down the ice quickly, how imperative is it to really work through keeping the team in front of you, especially on that big ice?
Well, I think that's part of what, not to get into all the details, but I think understanding your position on the ice and not putting yourself in situations where you have to chase the game and, whether it's on a forecheck and you're coming above the puck or offensive zone and you have good depth and there's some synergy between all five guys on the ice and things like that are what I'm talking about in terms of being deliberate. And, when you're disconnected, then you start chasing the game, and now you're putting guys in different difficult situations and trying to overcome odd man situations that necessarily don't work. So we have to be deliberate in terms of our movement, in terms of our synergy, in terms of our compete level. Everybody's got to be on the same page. That's just another way of saying it. We're into January now, so we're trying to be creative on how we can say the same message over and over again.
Going off of that, you always say the details are important. Was that kind of the rationale to have a little bit of extra shooting practice at the end of practice today?
It's something we try to do all the time. Sometimes it's later in the week, and but we wanted to change it up a little bit and do it earlier in the week this week.
All right, River, facing a team that you had a pretty good weekend against a couple months ago in St. Cloud State, going over to their barn this weekend. What's preparation like this weekend?
Yeah, I think we're just trying to get back to the basics. Start some practice. We got to work really hard. Make sure we're communicating so that when we go out to St. Cloud, we can be prepared as possible.
Is it kind of nice to see North Dakota go in and beat St. Cloud, kind of like the mentality like, oh, we could do this too?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's nice knowing that we had a pretty good weekend, but I think we had a good weekend against both teams, and it's going to be a big test for us, and I think no better time to kind of snap out of our funk than now.
And then amidst the stretch, how hard is it to stay mentally tough?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's tough. You wish things could be going better, but this is stuff that you prepare for all summer and all year, so that when the tough times do come, then you know how to try to work out of it the best you can.
And then was it nice to have Melnick back on the ice today?
Yeah, it's great having his presence out there, his leadership, his ability as a player. It's nice. It should be good to hopefully get him back for the weekend. So.
And then as a senior leader, what is the leadership kind of saying in the room to get the guys back on track?
Yeah, I think we're just trying to, like I said earlier, kind of get back to the basics, make sure our work ethic is above and beyond what it has been, because when you're in a slump like this, you got to work twice as hard to try to get out of it. So we're trying to lead by example and work to the best we can.